Hello and good morning, everyone. Welcome to my Saturday morning's live stream about IELTS exam. Hello, Sam. Thanks for the subscription. I've just invited you. Would you like to join, please? If you see, a message will appear on your mobile or your laptop that join. You have to click on the join button to be the part of the speaking partner on this session. All right. Sam, can you hear me? All right. Hi, Stella. Good morning.
Good morning, teacher.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm all right. Thank you very much. Okay. All right, Sam. You can join now. All right. But as you might be aware, this lesson has a specific day and time, which is every Saturday and Sunday, and you have to join on time. If you don't join, then you're going to lose it. Okay. You'll not get any replacement lesson. So, Stella, today, as you can see, there is a listening test, and there are some questions on the screen. Okay, Stella.
Okay. Yes.
All right. So, before we jump into the main, test, do you have any question from previous lessons?
No.
Right. Your IELTS exam is a paper-based exam or computer-based? I forgot.
Computer-based system.
Are you practicing typing for your writing section?
Oh, yes.
Mm-hmm. Sam, you have to join, otherwise it will be difficult for me to explain. Today's your first day. Welcome, and thanks for the subscription once again. I don't understand what you don't understand. So if you join me only that time, it will be uh, better for me to understand. We've got another person, Vasu. Welcome. Um, Hello, Vasu. Welcome. Can you hear me? Sam. Sam says, why I can't speak with you? You have to accept when I invite you. You have to click on the join button. Then you can come on the speaking section, Sam. I've invited you as well. Vasu, are you there? Can you hear me? You need to talk, otherwise I'll not be able to understand. Have you got microphone or speaker? We'll talk later. Okay, that's fine then. You're in a library. Okay, that's great. So welcome everyone. And Stella, can you confirm that you can see the screen and all the questions, question 1 to 8?
Yes, I can see that.
Great. So this is a listening test. Remember that this is one of the parts of IELTS exam. IELTS exam has 4 parts. Dear viewers, I'm sure you are aware of it. Listening, reading, writing, and speaking. And sometimes some candidates say that listening is the hardest part. Okay. And how do you feel about listening, Stella?
Um, uh, for me, it's much better than a speaking part or writing part because I think my listening skills would be improved if I practice it again and again.
And are you doing that?
Yes.
Okay. Basu says speaking is the hardest. Okay. Our primary focus is to mostly speaking and writing. Listening and reading, you can do it by yourself. But today, as an exception, we're going to sit for the listening test first, then we'll go for the speaking part. Or if you have got any question
Okay.
in writing as well. Great.
Okay.
Okay, let me check the sound. Remember the listening part, it will be played just once. Because we are practicing today, we may play a few times for our understanding. Okay, Stella,
Okay.
let me check the sound.
Test. Type 1. Test 1. Good morning, John.
Can you hear it correctly?
Yes.
Okay, shall I start playing now?
Yes.
Remember that once you've started playing the audio part, listening section, we have to listen until it is finished. Then we can replay again. Clear?
Yes.
Okay, let's move on.
Test. Type 1. Test 1. Good morning, John.
Hi, Sam. Are you going somewhere?
Yes. I'm getting ready to go to my parents for the weekend. My brother's coming to pick me up.
When will you be back?
We're having a big family dinner on Sunday evening. It's my parents' marriage anniversary, so I'm going straight to work on Monday.
You sound really very happy. Is there something else too?
Oh, yes. Haven't I told you? I think I'm falling in love.
You've got to be kidding.
No. It's been almost a month and I can't help thinking about her.
Who is it, by the way? What's she like?
Well, she's very beautiful and she's got lovely eyes.
What does she do? Come on, Sam. Who is it?
You know her too. She's our boss's daughter.
You mean Sheila? Unbelievable.
Believe it.
Okay, that is the end of the conversation, Stella.
I think we already listened to this story in the past.
Did we?
Yeah.
If you did it, we'll go to the next part. Okay. So, you have listed it. Okay. Let's go to the test 2 then. Please read the questions before I start it. So, if you remember that the techniques of listening part is that if you read the question first, then you'll be able to get the hints what kind of questions it is going to be. Okay, or if you read the answer, the same thing will be coming to your mind. Remember that listening is an amazing and major part of IELTS exam. If you don't focus it, you might, sometime not be able to answer it correctly. So this is very crucial for you to be a good listener. And also, as a part of IELTS strategies, we always say that if you want to be a good speaker, you must be a good listener. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, let's move on. Test 2 then.
Test. Type 1. Test 10.
The Yeti is the name given by the Sherpas to a large, ape-like hairy creature with a face somewhat like a human being's. They say that it has been living in the mountains for thousands of years. Many people have reported seeing its footprints, huge ones about 35 centimeters long and 18 centimeters wide. Lord Hunt, leader of an expedition which conquered Mount Everest, has taken photographs of these footprints. He says that he has seen tracks made by the Yeti many times and has even heard its cries. The Yeti is also known as the Abominable Snowman. Legends about this mysterious creature have captured the imaginations of scientists, zoologists, and mountaineers. For many years now, many of them have been risking their lives in order to prove these fantastic stories. Since 1937, when F.S. Smythe took the first photograph of a Yeti's footprints, many expeditions have gone in search of this mysterious ape-man, but they haven't succeeded yet in finding any traces of this elusive creature.
Was it clear, Stella?
Wow, that was very fast.
Test. Type 1.
Okay, we like to listen to one more time. Stella, is it okay?
Yes.
Because we are practicing. Read the question first so that you can understand what we have to listen. Okay, this is the an indirect awareness when we read the questions or the answers, and we have to just focus on the part of the conversation, how we can answer it correctly and clearly. So what is first? The first question is, what is Yeti? Next, who gave the name Yeti? Where does it live? What does it look like? How long the Yeti lived in the mountains? Who took the photographs of the footprints? What is the other name of Yeti? Who took the first photographs? Again, there are two questions about photograph. When was the first photograph taken? Did the scientists find the trace of the Yeti? Okay, Stella. Okay, let's move on.
Test. Type 1. Test 10.
The Yeti is the name given by the Sherpas to a large, ape-like hairy creature with a face somewhat like a human being's.
Shall we stop and answer one by one? Stella, what do you think? Stella?
Yes. From this part, I think I heard the answer of question number 1 and question number 2. Yeti means some large creatures that are like human beings. And the man named Shepard gave the name Yeti.
Okay, let's move on.
Test. Type 1. Test 10.
The Yeti is the name given by the Sherpas to a large, ape-like hairy creature with a face somewhat like a human being's. They say that it has been living in the mountains for thousands of years. Many people have reported seeing its footprints, huge ones about 35 centimeters long and 18 centimeters wide. Lord Hunt, leader of an expedition which conquered Mount Everest, has taken photographs of these footprints. He says that he has seen tracks made by the Yeti many times and has even heard its cries. The Yeti is also known as the Abominable Snowman. Legends about this mysterious creature have captured the imaginations of scientists, zoologists, and mountaineers. For many years now, many of them have been risking their lives in order to prove these fantastic stories. Since 1937, when F.S. Smythe took the first photograph of a Yeti's footprints, many expeditions have gone in search of this mysterious ape-man, but they haven't succeeded yet in finding any traces of this elusive creature.
Okay. What is the Yeti? Or what is Yeti?
Some large creatures that are like human beings.
Okay, who gave the name Yeti?
Shepherds.
Where does it live?
In mountains.
Very good, Stella. Number 4, what does it look like?
It resembles human beings.
Yes, it looks like human beings. Number 5, how long the Yeti lived in the mountains?
For thousands of years.
Who took the photographs of the footprints?
Lord Hunt.
What is the other name of Yeti?
Snowman? I'm not sure.
Abominable snowman. Hello, Rashikesh, welcome. I think he has subscribed to any other lesson. Okay. When was the first photograph taken?
In 1937.
Very good. Did the scientists find the trace of the Yeti?
No, not yet.
Your listening skill is very good, Stella. Wow, that's very impressive.
Thank you.
Would you like to go for another test?
Yes.
Okay.
Test. Type 1. Test 2.
Would you like to read the questions first before we start the test?
Okay.
So once again, dear viewers, we are watching the live stream from the UK and it's IELTS classes, but today we are just taking a test about the listening part. Ready, Stella?
Yes, I'm ready.
Great.
Test. Type 1. Test 2.
Kieran speaking.
Hello, Kieran. It's Sabina.
Hello, Sabina. How are you?
Fine, thanks. How about you?
Not bad. Very busy as usual.
Look, Kieran, I'm ringing to see if we can arrange a time for a meeting to discuss the release of your new music video.
Fine, but when?
How about next Monday, the 27th?
I'm afraid that's no good for me. I'm doing a charity show at the Birendra International Convention Centre. Does Wednesday the 29th suit you?
Yes, that's fine. What time suits you best?
The earlier the better. How about 8 o'clock, because I'm busy the other half of the day.
That's fine with me. Shall we meet in my office, or can I come to your place if you like it that way?
Let's make it my place. By the way, doesn't our cameraman Sudhir live just a stone's throw away from your place? Why don't you bring him as well?
Sure, he can catch a ride with me.
Okay then, I'll be expecting you on Wednesday the 29th.
Question 1. What are the names of the speakers?
Vina and Karen.
Say again.
Vina and I'm not sure about the boy's name. Maybe Karen or something like that.
What is the name of the girl?
Vina and Karen.
Okay, almost correct. One of them is correct. Okay, number 2. What's the conversation about?
To discuss the meeting day.
We need to listen to it carefully one more time. Okay. Number 3. Which day are they meeting?
29th Wednesday, 8 o'clock.
Name of the day, not the date.
Wednesday.
Wednesday. Okay. When are they meeting?
29th 8 o'clock.
Okay. In this case, when means it should be either AM or PM. But as you might be aware, in IELTS exam sheet, the answer is already there. But I have done it the other way around so that we can focus and clarify the answer. Okay, hang on a second. Let me clarify this part so that. Is it AM or PM? Yeah? Was it AM or PM?
AM, I think, because the boys that the earlier the better.
What's the name of the cameraman?
I missed the question 5 and 6, unfortunately.
Alright, we'll replay again. No worries.
Test. Type 1. Test 2.
Kieran speaking.
Hello, Kieran, it's Sabina.
Hello, Sabina. How are you?
Fine, thanks. How about you?
Not bad. Very busy.
So, Stella, Kiran speaking. This is Sabina. So their name is Kiran and Sabina. Okay?
Okay.
Busy as usual.
Look, Kieran, I'm ringing to see if we can arrange a time for a meeting to discuss the release of your new music video.
Fine, but when?
How about next Monday, the 27th?
Okay. The second question is, what's the conversation about? And what was your answer?
To discuss the release of the music video.
That's the greatest answer. Release of the music video. All right.
I'm afraid that's no good for me. I'm doing a charity show at the Birendra International Convention Centre. Does Wednesday the 29th suit you?
Yes, that's fine. What time suits you best?
The earlier the better. How about 8 o'clock, because I'm busy the other half of the day.
That's fine with me. Shall we meet in my office, or can I come to your place if you like it that way?
Let's make it my place. By the way, doesn't our cameraman Sudhir live just a stone's throw away from your place? Why don't you bring him as well?
Sure, he can catch a ride with me.
Okay then, I'll be expecting you on Wednesday the 29th.
Now, did you get the answers of other questions?
Yes, only number 5.
So you have already answered which day are they meeting. That's Wednesday. And when are they meeting? You said morning. Yes, earlier the better. And how about 8 o'clock? So it is morning. And question 5, what's the name of the cameraman?
Studio.
Sudhir, yes, very good. And they have used the phrase at a stone's throw. What does it mean?
No,
Hmm?
I missed this question.
They have used this expression at a stone's throw.
No, I haven't heard about that.
You haven't? Okay, let us listen to the audio part one more time.
Can I come to your place if you like it that way?
Let's make it my place. By the way, doesn't our cameraman Sudhir live just a stone's throw away from your place? Why don't you bring him as well?
Sure, he can catch a ride with me.
Okay then, I'll be expecting you on Wednesday the 29th.
Sudhir is the cameraman at a stone's throw. Okay. That is easy way to remember the meaning, Stella, okay? If you take a stone and if you throw it, how far it will go?
Just not very.
Not very far.
It would not go. Not very far.
That's right, that's right. So at a stone's throw is a phrase, it means that you're nearby, close proximity. Okay, so if you say, hey, I live at a stone's throw of your house, that means I live very close proximity or very nearby to your house. You can come to my house by 1 foot or by walking. All right?
Okay.
Great. So these are some sample tests, but not as like the sample test of IELTS exam. In IELTS exam, there are some other sample tests as well. We'll take the test another day. All right. Would you like to take one more test, or what do you think, Stella? How confident you are now, up to now, because your exam is just round the corner. Is it 6th,
Right.
6th of April?
Yes.
Okay, what time you have to be there?
In the morning time, at least before 8:30 a.m.
So you have to be there 8:30 a.m. and the exam starts at 9 o'clock?
Yes.
Best of luck already.
Thank you.
Okay. Remember that once again, if you read the answer of listening part or the any explanation, you'll get an idea, like passive understanding what could be the question or what could be you have to focus. Like if they says what are the name of the speakers, then we have to listen to the names. What is the conversation about? The whole conversation, the summary. Which day means Pacific day of the week. When means either AM or PM, okay, or noon or night. And number 5, what is the name of the cameraman? Another name. The stone's throw is phrase. It means closely, nearby, close proximity, within walking distance. Okay.
Okay.
Today let's do. Have we finished writing part? Stella, do you remember that?
I think maybe 2 weeks ago we discussed about the task one, analyzing some graph.
All right. That is 2 weeks ago. Okay. And did you discuss compound sentences?
Yes.
Okay. Remember that it's also important for you to know how to write compound sentences. Otherwise, it will be difficult to get good marks above 6.5 or 6. You can't get 6.5 easily by writing simple sentences in your listening, writing part as well as speaking part. But if your target is, no, my target is 8, 7.5, or maybe 8.5, then you have to just write compound sentences. Also using formal words. Let me see if there is. Okay, task 2. Okay, task 2 topics are generally opinion based, advantage or disadvantage, problems and solutions, discussions, dispute, qualitative, descriptive, or argumentative, or forecast, or direct questions and solutions. Okay.
Okay.
And the topic is general health, environment, family, foods, sport, travel, economics, art, education, development, globalization, public transport, criminal justice, youth crime. Okay, hence in task 2, we could use different types of grammar rules while we make the sentence. Let us consider the following types of sentence that can be used. And I'm sure you know all of them. Simple, complex, compound, conditional, gerund, and sometimes we use passive voice or passive sentence as well. Okay. All right. Do you need to know the task 1 of general test, Stella?
No, I'm gonna take the academic test, so I I I don't know much about a general test.
Okay, I can give you the idea briefly. So task 2 in general test and academic test writings are same, almost same. Okay, so they are like an essays. But for task 1 in general, you have to write either a letter or an application or an email. Okay, Stella? Briefly, I'm just giving an idea
Okay.
so that you know. And I'm sure in your daily life, sometimes we need to write letter or application or email to your clients, to your boss, to your manufacturer, to your suppliers, or different kind of peoples. So general task 1 always gives you the idea how well you can communicate. And the letters are generally like invitation, request, family letter, confirmation, application, appreciation, etc. And for the application part, like complaint, inquiry, it could be product, it could be job, it could be loan, it could be admission, it could be tickets, it could be events, it could be visit, etc. And also lost and found department. You'll find this word in very often in newspaper, that if you lose something, important documents, then you have to advertise in the paper, and how you can do that. And similarly, if you remember, these are the 3 important parts of writing: introduction, body, and conclusion. In the introduction part, you have to write the date. And for example, this letter was that someone has invited you, Stella, say, to visit Japan, but you cannot go in the summer. How you are going to write the response to the person? There is only sample letter, like you write date, the person's name. Okay. Or this is the ticket inquiry. Like I'm writing this letter to find out the following inquiry about the tickets, flights, accommodation, whatever. We're planning to visit Jakarta this date from Bandung to Calidiers. Okay. then how many people are there, etc., etc. All right. The amazing part is that, Stella, we use I look forward to hearing from you soon, or I'm looking forward to hearing from you soon. We use yours sincerely yours. If there is a name, when you're addressing by the name, we write yours faithfully yours truly yours. When we are addressing without name, like dear sir or madam, and we write regards, best regards, kind regards with formal letter, best wishes. All right. We write with compliments, best compliments, informal letter, like when you're writing to your friend. Okay. We write at the end, your loving friend, lovingly yours ever, yours in informal letter, but with friends and families. Okay, I'll explain Jiran. You know Jiran, right?
Uh, Pardon?
Do you know Jiran?
No, I don't know.
Okay, we call Jiran those words when a verb takes ing form, and after that, the verb works like a noun or adjective. That's the time these verbs are called Jiran. Stella, look at the example, like sleep is a verb, and we have used ing, sleeping. So sleeping is needed for our rest. Okay, sleep is needed for our rest. Clear?
Yes.
Walking is a good exercise. Or riding a bike makes you energetic. Is this clear? Are these three examples?
Yes.
So can you give me an example of gerund?
Mm. Studying hard is essential for many students.
Studying hard. Okay, very good. Bravo. All right. Now, this is something else. You know, sometimes we use ing with the verb and the verb becomes participle. Okay, which is called present participle. Like by going home, eating my food, I started watching TV. Look at all this ing form. Go ing, eat ing, watch ing. So when a verb takes ing and it makes a continuous, actions one after another, they are not gerund, they are not continuous form or part of continuous tense. In that time or situation, we call them participle. Is it clear, Stella?
Yes.
Okay, great. So this is one of the examples. Like by going home, eating my food, I started watching TV last week. Or you can say, after watching this lesson, I will be able to know many things about IELTS exam. So here, watching is a participle. All right, now academic writing. Academic writing skill or research writing criteria. These are the main criteria in academic writing. Formal tone, good research praxis, close adherence to the appropriate format and structure. Okay, formal tone means you have to use formal words. Okay, use of the third person, clear focus on the issue or topic rather than author's opinion, precise word choice. Okay, so we use third person, Stella. So like we also use passive voice or passive form. We never use direct subject like I'm going to explain or I'm going to tell you. No, we write like this research paper or this article or this topic will depict, describe, or you can say it will be described. Okay, we don't say I will describe it. No. Okay, task 1 we have explained. Task 2. Task response, coherence and cohesion 25%, lexical sources 25%, grammatical range and accuracy. So in task 2, our focus would be, as you might be aware, IELTS exam is a time control exam. So it is better for you to practice at home, keeping a timer beside you and how many words you write in a minute. As you might be aware, in task 2, we assume 40 minutes and 250 words, right? So Stella, if you remember that there is no specific 20 minutes and 40 minutes time, it is altogether an hour. So you have to figure it out how you're going to start the task 1 and task 2 in an hour. I have heard from a student that the student's a teacher, I spent 40 minutes in task 1, but I couldn't finish task 2. I said, oh, that you shouldn't have done that. Okay. Remember that examiners always do count the words. So for the task 1, it should be minimum 150 words. In task 2, it should be minimum 250 words. All right. If you have got any question, please do ask me. Okay. Stella, do you remember what does task response mean in IELTS task 2 or task achievement?
Yes. It means the candidate should contain all the directions from the question.
Mm-hmm. I have also shared some explanation on the screen. So the task achievement is the act of doing a certain task by an individual or group, individual in order to finish it in a that ensures success. It determines a situation when objectives of the task are accomplished according to preset priorities, time limits, process requirements, responsibilities, and authorities. Task response: how must your writing answer each part of this as a question? Okay, let's go to task 2 today, not 1. When we'll start revising, we'll come back to 1. Okay, check your work, spelling. We have explained this, right, Stella?
No.
Spelling techniques, we haven't.
Yes.
American English and British English. Remember that when you're writing, you must follow only one type of spelling, either British or the American in the same writing. Do not mix it up. Check your spellers. It is found from a recent statistic that in IELTS exam board, that many of our learners are not aware how to use the punctuations correctly, how to use the capital letters correctly, okay, and how to use uh, the words appropriately. You learn a vocab, but you don't know how to use it. Then it's really bad for you that you don't know how to use it. Okay, so double consonant rule as well in spelling, and ENC and ENS like defense, offense, license, this spelling. Finally, annex, glycerin, and some of the spelling. OUR versus OR like flavor, color, behavior, fabric, honor, humor, labor, neighbor, parlor, caliber, center, fiber, RE and ER, meter, and IZD or IAC or YSC or YZD. Analyze, for example, civilize, paralyze, utilize. Other spelling, donut, for example. All right, so these are the things we must avoid in academic writing. Stella, no informal words. Plagiarism. Do you know what is plagiarism?
Yes, using someone's source without permission.
Yes. Now also remember, if you're taking permission, we use the sentence indirectly, or we call it in-text citation. Have you ever heard this term in-text citation, Stella?
No.
Okay, let me go back and explain. In-text citation is when you're giving a reference from a book or a writer's either public data or research paper or an article or a book. Like I've given an example, the share market should be steady. It's said by K. Stella in his book, Financial Market, and page 288. Can you see that as example?
Yes.
Okay. This is one of the proven ways to write your assignment or research paper or research presentation. Name of the book, name of the writer, and the name of the page. Okay, next one is do not be repetitive. Okay, it is also applicable for a speaking part. Stella, if you remember, sometimes you are saying the same thing like actually what? Oh, you know, then you can say actually, or you know what? Well, you know, these are called feelers, and we shouldn't use the feelers, or we shouldn't be repetitive while we are writing and also speaking. Then do not mix up the spellings. Idioms are not ever used in writing. Okay. Next one is do not use memorize sentence. And do not use you or we or us. Shorten words in short times. and using informal phrases to state your opinion. Okay, one good example, Stella. In writing, we do not use a lot of, lots of, or tons of. Stella, are you there?
Yes.
Okay, because I need to hear your sound sometime. Otherwise, I will think that I'm talking to myself. Okay,
Okay.
it's a very common use. We write very often, like, "Hey, I've got a lot of property, lot of money, lot of knowledge, lot of books," or "lots of," or "tons of." These are not accepted in IELTS writing. Instead, we have to write many or much. So these are
Uh-huh.
informal. I'm writing it. Remember, in many cases, even though it is informal, we accept it, but these are not acceptable in writing. We have to use instead many or much. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Let's have a little bit test of writing. Describe village life is better than town life. So, what are you going to describe, Stella?
Uh, in this part, I should describe some other benefits of living in a city rather than in a countryside. Oh my God! Wait a minute. Village life means the life in countryside.
Hang on. Okay, hang on a second. Let me check this topic. Village life is better than town life. Do you agree or disagree?
Is village life mean the life in countryside?
Mm-hmm. Go on.
Is it right?
Okay, before you try to answer, Stella, I remember that you need to first organize the ideas what you're going to talk about in this writing. Look at this part. Village life is better than town life. Do you agree or disagree? When you're writing, you have to just write only one part. Either you will agree or disagree. Okay, but I've seen in many cases many of our learners have written both. They agreed and again they disagreed. Do not do it. IELTS task 2, it is important that you must write only one side, either agree or disagree. Either you support it or you don't support it. Still, I'm going to listen to your explanation in a moment. And after that, if you remember, we have to follow this introduction, body, and conclusion. And in the introduction part, you're going to paraphrase or rephrase it. So how we are going to paraphrase it, Stella?
Mm. If I have to answer this question, maybe I have to paraphrase the village life to countryside life and town life to city life.
Okay. But as I said, you have to just support only one side, not both of them. So the second important feature is that after paraphrasing, we're going to the body part. In body part, bring at least 2 to 3 ideas in one separate paragraph. You'll write the advantage. If you're supporting village life, you'll write the advantages with examples. And if you're writing, no, town life is better, similarly, you're going to write some, information about the town life, how it is important, how it is helpful, etc. Okay, Stella, let's move on a little bit. We have got still 3 minutes 30 seconds. Oh, no, 3 minutes 5 seconds, sorry. I've given an example sentence like this paragraph or essay will describe how village life is better than town life. Stella,
Yes.
did you get my point?
Yes.
Or you can say this paragraph will describe the comparisons of village and town life, whether it has got an impact in our life or not. Remember that you must use compound sentences in order to get good marks. Okay, say it again. You said earlier that you're going to give me the paraphrase. Stella, are you there? Stella, are you all right?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. So what was your answer for the paraphrase?
I said, firstly, I should switch the word from village life to countryside life and town life to city life.
Mm-hmm. Then remember that in paraphrase you have to write at least two to three sentences. And also you can use any of them. This topic, chart, essay describes, depicts, portrays, explains, defines, analyzes, demonstrates, brings out, unfolds, breaks down, justifies, points out, interprets, reveals, puts across. And we are not allowed to use the contraction in academic writing. Okay? You cannot say like I can't, rather than you have to write I cannot. All right?
Okay.
All right. We've got only 27 seconds, so let's stop here. So if you've got any questions and comments, and still, as I said earlier, if you need your writing to be checked by me, you can email me so that I can have a look and give you the feedback. Okay?
Okay.
Thank you very much for joining the lesson today. I'll see you later.
See you later, teacher.
Bye.
Bye bye.